I want to throw a stat your way, and it goes back to the
Uh-oh.
point about parity in the NHL and how close everything is right now.
Yeah.
Last year, take all 1,312 regular season games we got, 5.8 of them went to a shootout. This year, through 306 games, 9.15% of them are going to a shootout. Do you view that as a problem in the NHL, Jeff?
I like my game settled 5-on-5 or as close to 5-on-5 as possible. I'm actually the guy that when it comes to shootout would rather see the shootout at the beginning of a game so the tiebreaker is already set. That way, well, one of the major things is it feels like the game ends in hockey and not a skills competition. We can get into the psychology behind that if you want. But no, I think we're all on the same page that we want our games settled with capital H hockey, not lowercase h hockey / skills competition. But then again,
So Jeff,
I'm the guy that's fine with ties. I'm the guy that's fine with ties though too.
Yeah. No, again, I think like I reflecting on my career again, like I could play this unbelievable game and then lose in a shootout, and it just felt like this wasn't really hockey,
Awful.
right? And I get that point. Now, what I wanted to get to was the Champions League, right? Added in the rule that you can't go over and back, right? In overtime, right? This is something that came up today, and something I was been thinking about. Shot attempts have increased 51%, and in those games, 12
in Champions League, not in NHL, in Champions
not
League.
in the NHL,
Okay, good,
right?
Good. Right.
And 12% of those games increased that the game ends in overtime and doesn't get to a shootout because it forces a little more offense. What is your thoughts on that? Because I know we're not baseball, right? We're trying to stay up there. Is this something maybe we think we see? Because it's been a hot button issue for a while now.
I think it'll be discussed at the general managers meetings. Absolutely. Like everything else in hockey, coaches have found a way to wreck 3-on-3. Remember when 3-on-3 started? Like, remember that there was the first season of 3-on-3. There was a Detroit. It was Detroit and Ottawa game, which was just like 5 minutes of sprints. It was still the best 3-on-3 game I have ever seen. It was incredible. Just exchanging chances, back and forth, exchanging chances. Now it's neutral zone regroups and wait for the perfect shot. Again, coaches ruin everything. Maybe, how about this for a rule for the 3-on-3? 60 minutes stops. We get to the 3-on-3. All coaches have to leave the bench. How about that? Coaches aren't allowed to stand on the bench. Coaches have to leave. Beat it. Get to the hot towels first. So I saw this and I really, really do like it. And I like the fact that if you go back into the neutral zone, pass it back or skate it back, or even just like a miff pass that goes back, the face-off comes back into your own zone. I like that a lot. And one of the reasons I like it so much, I think the face-off placement here is key if you sort of break the over and back rule. And this is something, I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this. This is something that I've been on for a couple of years, and I got it in my brain and I won't let it go. I don't think that outside of to start the period, and maybe not even that, or after a goal, we should ever have a neutral zone face-off. If the idea is to increase scoring chances, every face-off should be in a scoring area, i.e. beside the goal. You go offside, puck's coming back into your zone. Something happens in the neutral zone and there's a whistle, you're not getting a neutral zone face-off. The face-off is either going to be beside your net or the other team's net. It's no man's land, guys. Like, neutral zone is a place to gather speed on a rush. And that's it. Why are we dropping pucks that far away from the net? And what do those face-offs generally produce? Like, if you're the offensive team and you win it, you still have to scramble, figure it out, and then still do the zone entry. Start with the puck beside the net and go from there. Shot attempts will go up, goals will go up, all of it. And you've just done a tiny tweak. And what have you taken away? A neutral zone face-off. Ooh, I can't wait to watch the Oilers and the Kings and all these neutral zone face-offs. This is going to be so exciting, as opposed to, I know every time there's a draw, it's going to lead to a scoring chance. Or I know a team's deep and they're going to have some pressure here. That's why I like what you're talking about that over and back in the Champions League, because the penalty for it is face-off comes back into your zone. I think we should do everything as a sport to get face-offs out of the neutral zone. I surrender the floor.
Well, so let me bring up, this is a point that our producer Pat made earlier this morning, but what if instead of fewer neutral zone faceoffs, what if we went towards fewer faceoffs and you get to 3-on-3 OT and it's no offsides, just pond hockey. Just go. Wouldn't that also solve the problem while making it like less complicated for a new fan? Like I think about a new fan sitting down to watch their first hockey game and it goes to 3-on-3 overtime, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, there's stuff that you over back. Like what?
You want to go deeper on that one? I like it. Let's take the next step. Okay, this is good. Okay, Carter, you might want to cover your ears on this one. How about goalies aren't allowed to freeze the puck? Goalies have to play it. Keep it hot. We're playing 5 minutes, and outside a puck over glass, goalie's got to play that puck. You cannot freeze it. You cannot stop play. You catch it, that's great. You throw it behind you. You park it in front and you shoot it down the ice. You pass it to your player. Technically, hang on a second. Really, the goalie likes it. The goalie likes it, Tyler. So technically, that's the lay of game. Any other player does that. That's the lay of game. Yeah. Goalies get a free pass. If you want to keep things hot in the offensive zone, goalies can't freeze the puck. I'm cool with taking away blue lines. I'm cool with taking away lines altogether because the size of the rink is not going to get any bigger. Like the way that the new arenas are built, they're not built with the contingency of being able to expand quickly. I think that when we saw this, and I guess it started with probably Nationwide Arena. When the wave of new rinks came in the NHL, I always thought the league should have, okay, for every new rink, it has to be built in that we have the potential to expand the rink if we need it. Not 200, 100 by international, but maybe like 292 like they do in Finland. Maybe just a little bit more to the outside. But they didn't do that, and that's cool. So if we're not going to take any players off the ice, we're not going 4-on-4. It's going to be 5-on-5. And the rinks aren't going to get bigger. What do? How do you make more room out there? To me, there's only one thing you can do, and that's take away the lines. If we think it's a problem.
The goalie one's interesting because you're right, it'd be delay a game, but like then I feel like I go down that rabbit hole and I'm like, okay, but then do you need like a 5-foot buffer, like a kickoff in football where like the offensive team needs to he's just got to do something with it?
Yeah.
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 Hang on.
Let's hear from Carter's got skin in this game. Let's hear from Carter.
The only thing I do like it, I think, like getting it going, but then you just have to have a different stat line. I would want to eliminate. I hate OT goals against anyway because the quality of chances is so high. I just think it skews the numbers. That'd be my only take, but man, it would be exciting. That's for sure.
Just as a fan, it's fun. Like, get rid of neutral zone faceoffs. OT goalies have to play it or else it's delay a game. I don't know. We're all sort of spitballing here. Essentially, what we're trying to do is create a way to keep this thing away from the shootout.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is, I think,
completely keep this thing away from the shootout.
Hey, hockey fans, if you enjoyed that video, then make sure you hit the subscribe button right here on the Daily Faceoff YouTube. We have you covered for everything you need. Exclusive interviews on The Sheet with Jeff Marek, all the latest hockey news on Daily Faceoff Live, and you can always get your morning started with Johnny Lazarus and Colby Cohn on Morning Cup of Hockey. Don't miss a minute. Hit that subscribe button.